Hey everybody, it's your Uncle Bear. Happy Sunday to you. Beautiful day down here in Belleville, Kansas. Drinking my morning coffee. I'm going to go in and take a shower here in a couple minutes and then head up into Nebraska. See if I can park overnight at my delivery. If not, I think there's a couple small fuel stops there in the town I'm going to. So I was watching a quote unquote truck driver on TikTok the other day, and he was talking about us old guys that wear steel-toed boots and jeans and button-down shirts, etc., etc. And was saying that he's gonna he's not gonna sit in that truck all day long, like dressed like that. He's gonna be comfortable, etc., etc. And I guess I look back at the 1940s, 1950s, even the end of the 1960s, and you see all these guys going to work and they're wearing suits and ties. And to me, you may as well just put a noose around my neck and make me wear a tie every day. I'll wear them on certain occasions because it's the respectful thing to do. There's a time and a place, as far as I'm concerned. If I go to a funeral, if I go to a wedding, I'm wearing a tie. That being said, I'm sure those men didn't want to wear a tie to work every day. They'd rather leave the tie off and unbutton a couple buttons on their shirt and be comfortable. But that was their work attire. Now I'm not saying it's wrong, if you want to wear shorts and a t-shirt, during the summertime, that's fine. But wear tennis shoes, wear a decent pair of shoes. Okay, don't mess around with flip-flops and sandals. That's just dangerous, and I think it'll end up biting you in the ass if you got to stop quick. The old adage, it hasn't happened to me yet. Okay, it hasn't happened to you yet. That doesn't mean it can't happen to you, though. So keep that in mind. But our work attire, I guess if all you're doing is driving that day, it doesn't really matter as long as you have clothes on, That's kind of the way I look at that. But you got to keep in mind, you are the face and the image of the company you drive for, whether that's somebody else's company or your company. And you need to look the part. I remember back in the 90s, I can't remember what show, I think it might have been the Jerry Springer show or one of those god-awful, redneck shows. That's what I looked at him as. But anyway, this gal was looking for her long-lost dad, and this guy come walking out on the stage, and I kind of chuckled. And I was watching the program with my mom, and she said, "What's so funny?" I said, "That guy's a truck driver, you watch." Sure enough, he was a truck driver. And I said, "We gotta look," But that is the uniform of the day for most of us, And I don't, like I say, I wear t-shirts. I've never been a button-down kind of guy out here. A lot of the old timers before me, though, they wore button-down shirts. But I wear t-shirts, jeans, and steel-toed boots. Like I say, if you're not picking up or delivering, that day, wear what you want. But when you're going to be face to face with a customer, you should really look the part. Put on a long pair of pants. Have a pair of shoes on. Have a respectable shirt, not a shirt with a bunch of swear words on it. You're dealing with customers, and you should look the part for that. So anyway, keep that in mind. Okay, it's not about your comfort. It's about professionalism, and it's about making your company whether it's your company or somebody or the company you're driving for. It's about making that company look good. And you want to do that because the better your company looks, the more money they make. The more money they make, the more apt you are to get a raise out of the deal or more benefits or whatever the case may be. If it's a small company, I mean, it takes a little while to get enough cash flow to offer group insurance, paid vacations, paid holidays, that kind of thing. For a small outfit, it takes a while to make that stuff happen. But if the drivers work with the owners, that stuff can eventually happen. Otherwise it doesn't, and that means winning bids on hauling freight. So that's all I got for today, kids. Be safe out there, okay? Stay cool. It's gonna be hot and muggy, it feels like. So talk to you later.